Ah, wow. Well, good everyone. This is one of the most special days yet in this ascension in relation to the change that we are bringing upon the surface. So, for now, I guess you can say this is a great day in our story, her story, his story. So, most auspicious. So, and what I just posted there a bit ago, it appears that the first sealed indictments were unsealed. Now, it's going to happen very rapidly during the course of at least the next few months of revealing many segments of the corruption that was on the surface. And so this is only the beginning. The one dot in the US, but what will happen is this one dot will connect and light up so many more right around Gaia with all of the corrupt connections to reveal and expose it to the masses. So what you see there is the beginning, which will very quickly ignite Canada with many charges perhaps being laid as well, and more criminals in Canada being very quickly exposed. The way Canada's system is more or less they have direct indictments in the way that, let's say, when substantial evidence is there, they just go and they lay the charges. And this appeared perhaps only a week or two ago when two high-level members of Canadian House of Assembly or legislation where two were dismissed and I believe criminal charges pending. I believe one was a coat of arms sergeant and just not quite sure now what the other one was, but two of these, in protective services, another one was part of that. So they were removed from their duty. Now, this happened, I believe, in Victoria, Vancouver, Canada, and it's very important because it is just the beginning of many more removals from offices like that. And during this course, what could very quickly happen here in Canada, it is imminent, it will happen, you will begin to see politicians removed as well because of their connections to the global corruption. So this is one of the most auspicious days in this ascension. So as you know, more of you are beginning to see, a lot of you already knew that this ascension involves cleaning up uh, everything in these timelines for humanity. It all goes together. It's just not about an ascension of everyone ascending, leaving here that is ready to ascend and leave the things behind. No, everything that happened here and in your past lives, you were subjected to government injustices, criminal injustices imposed against you. Many of you were targets, financially burdened. You were, it was intentionally done. And, for the most part, it was to put you in there and let you know how things really worked here before we come, which was totally suppression, oppression, criminal, slavery, enslavement to the human civilization. So, yeah, very important reason. That's why many of you that are ascending know of all the corruption, and it's why it's part of the awakening because it's pertinent to the ascension. So again, all of you are connected to this, and doing your divine work in one way or another, you assist with this overall exposing, anything that is not virtuous. And what you do know is the way governments and some religions and things, the way they're all set up is there is no integrity in their foundation, that they were actually set up, with ill intent. That's why they set them up. So, without complicating that too much, you are beginning to see more blatantly now to the public the implosion of everything the way it was. And we have mentioned this several times in the past. And also, you can see how, like, these instruments, like the Panama Papers, Luxembourg leaks, Swiss leaks, like these sort of instruments, and also WikiLeaks again, how they were all pertinent, and how they were designed to begin to break down and expose all this corruption, which is occurring. So I believe it's around 60,000, 63,000 at least sealed indictments in the U.S. yet. And if I'm fully correct on this, the one I just posted is only the first one. And very quickly, you can see how it's all connected to the Clintons and perhaps Obama and much more. But as these began with these sealed indictments, and let's say whatever, if it's tribunals set up to look at this, what there is going to be is the public. There cannot be secrecy with these. It's so the public is going to know what happens, what comes out with most of these, and it's going to reveal a lot more. What I can say is what just occurred here today is a very minute grain in the top of a huge iceberg. It's the very minimal tip, what just occurred. So you can imagine how big this is. And hi, Elizabeth Hawkins. So, yeah, another cool thing was going on, I believe, over in Britain. 30,000 Trump supporters marching or something, in the UK. Very interesting. And but these are awakened ones that are awakened to the degree that for their awakening, they knew what was going on with the corruption and politics and all of this, because everyone ascending, we don't just all practice empowering ourselves and staying in love. A lot of light workers are connected right into the depths of the governments, and even the pedophile rings, and all of these things, to expose them and bring to the surface the truths for the public. So this is occurring so very rapidly as it has begun. So it has begun in the U.S., and it's very quickly Canada will be one of the next countries where you're going to start seeing what some refer to as mass arrests. It may be, I don't feel like it's going to be a mass arrest on one day. It's just going to keep trickling, but then it will become more extensive as we go with this. With this, we are to carry, let's say, no vengeance. It's best for us all just to remain neutral on that and observe what is happening, by not giving it any bad energy, but by the opposite, giving it new good energy, that it has to occur so that we can create the new foundations of society that is based on integrity and everything else. So it's important for, don't get out there, yeah, they're going to jail, get them. No, don't do that. No, just observe it neutrally and understand that we are building the new. This is being taken care of, let's say, kind of off to your side. You don't, most of you don't need to get involved in it in any way and supporting energy like that of wishing ill intent. It's more so it's going to happen. It is happening, and we know it. And at these times, we need most focusing what you feel upon the new, because we are creating the new. And many of you have been well versed in what needs to be here, what we're creating. You know that you want harmony, peace, and love, and wipe out, poverty and sickness and all of this. So it's been now divinely given to you at this point that you know what you wish to create. So we are at the creation levels, ready to implement, the more fundamentals based on the integrity to watch them grow. So this is kind of what we're doing. I kind of didn't get the good words in there, what I wish to say to explain it. However, without rambling more on that, we all know it's begun and it's so important, and you will see more here in Canada. Toronto and Vancouver will be the first two main areas, with also Alberta will come in quickly with the rest there into that as well. So it'll be these main places. There may be a couple other trickles because everything's connected from other provinces, but nevertheless. This is, okay, thanks, Greg. 66,000 sealed indictments, I believe. He says 66,000, so wow, it's climbing, very rapidly. So it's going to take, a little while to, I have not kept up on the politic parts of how many tribunals are set up, or even military courts to that respect under the good military to assure that chaos does not happen during this most auspicious time. But I do feel it's going to go very quickly within the next 3 months. I believe so many more are going to awaken, with possibly, well, let's say the masses will most likely awaken within the next 3 months with what has begun here today. So all of you, your purpose here and your life here is very important, and that's why you're here. And also, so many of you have been in divine boot camp, if you will, to be ready for these times, because we deal with the energy. You are angels, and you are able to implement swift change and to stabilize things, and so that we have a more smooth transition here into the new, so it's not abrupt and so it doesn't create shock with the populace, with the masses, and what have you. So these things are, each one of you play whatever role it is that where you fit in to assist in stabilizing that. So these, again, are the most important times we are in. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit today, this morning, right now, or I guess afternoon. I just got up a bit ago, and been up usually up mostly all night, and then sleep all morning. However, so great. I don't turn my heater down a bit, getting warm in there. So pretty well, I guess that's it for now. You know, it's begun, and just just remain neutral on these things. Don't charge anything up negative, but remain in your light. Do not give your consent away to anything that is not moral nor ethic. Stand in your light. Speak your truth, your voice with others, you know, uh, on these subjects, and be the divine being that you are. But also, you know, there is a certain, not to degrade the masses, but you know, there is a certain uh, peer that you are with this as well. So you have been well learned and well versed with much what's going on. So many of you may become the come to ones, to, you know, ones saying, okay, what is going on, right? And you are the ones to share and keep them calm and say, hey, look, you know, there's an ascension going on here. There's a great awakening. The human civilization was corruptly suppressed, oppressed, and it was enslaved. Uh, and there was, you can even say, the League of Angels come here to break that and rectify things and set it correct. So whatever you choose to give them, but please, what I'm saying is that you are bestowed with the information of knowing what is going on for at least that one reason. So you know, be of the fullest benefit to what resonates with you at this time. And as I said, things are, uh, I believe it'll be very rapid, you know, that all the disclosure and exposure that the corrupt system is getting, because, you know, the public needs to know what was there, so that going forward, that the publics do not allow this again, that we clean everything up here. So great, amazing times with this we are in. Okay, not going to go any longer on this. So I love you all, and hey, we got to this point finally. I've been waiting for this point for about 3 months now. I believe in September I'd wanted it to begin. And at that time, you know, we even did an exercise. Let's push to begin to, we put our energy to unseal these indictments in September. Um, you know, we put the energy there. It was not at that time approved. And what I was kind of given is that there would have been, that there were a lot more, yet that it was not ready to begin, which we've seen, you know, since September. Probably another 10, 15,000 more sealed indictments were added, whatever number it is. And so this cleanup is all and extensive. And as some of these sealed indictments begin to be unsealed as well, you're also going to keep seeing that number rise, because as bit of the evidence from the first ones is released to the public, it will enable further criminal charges to be laid against the connections. So it's going to be very interesting with what goes on with this, and the transition period should be pretty smooth. I'm not given a time when perhaps some of the other monetary uh, assistance will come in the form of currencies or monetary programs, but I do know it's sitting there just waiting. I'm just not given a time on that when it will come in. So you have what you need from day to day, and just keep surviving now. You are provided divinely with what you need. So again, know that this is happening, and you only need enough to get by each day. Just be in the day now until we get things straightened around. For some of you that may be what you say is struggling. No, not to resort to fear about struggling, that you're provided divinely with everything you need if you just if you just believe and trust it and don't resort to any or anything. So you're all part of something very special, very good, something very divine. So there's not one reason to fear anything. Now, one more thing I will say, and this is important. Death is not what it seems. So for some of you that may think you're losing loved ones at this time, let me say that's not the end, and that do your little bit of mourning here, but don't hold on to that, because there are more magical things happening with this ascension. So I will not say too much more on that, other than, yes, we grieve in sadness when we are separated from one through what you call the death process. But what I'm saying is that that's not the end, as many of you know, and in the future, in this now, that you'll be given more information what goes on with that. But yeah, just wanted to say that. I did just quickly I just quickly wanted to read. Greg had put another message up there. I thought it was in conjunction with the indictments. But anyways, good. I love you. Woohoo! We're rocking. I love you all. Love and light, and have the most beautiful day. This is a very beautiful day for all of us. So have a great one, and we'll catch you later.